Craig Trapp with me today. We're going to be breaking down some college football games for you. If you have any questions about a game that we're not talking about, please feel free to comment, ask questions. We love to answer questions here. And don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Hey, Craig Trapp, how's it going, man?
Oh, excited. I think this is going to be a really big week of college football. And I think I've got a few that I really like. So I'm not sure if everybody's seen Allie here. I'm looking at it live, and it doesn't look like we're seeing Allie. So I think we're only going to get Allie's voice today, which stinks. But we've got new software out that we're trying out here on our Friday broadcast. So hopefully we'll get it worked out for Saturday. But at least we'll have the free picks for you.
Uh-oh.
You there?
It cut me offline.
You there? Allie, you there? All right. Well, it looks like maybe Allie's having some problems, but we got Friday college football.
Hear me?
Saturday college football week 9. So once we get Allie dialed back in, I'll get her live. Make sure, if you haven't done so, you give us a like, share, follow on either YouTube or on Facebook. And make sure, if you haven't done so, make sure you turn on the notifications so every time we do go live, you do get in on it. So we do have, see if we can get Allie in here. Allie, you're there, Allie. I still don't think we're seeing Allie's video for some weird reason, but we do have her audio. Allie, you there? Looks like we're having some difficulties with Allie's
you guys can see me, please.
Nope. Looks like Allie's having some issues with her audio. So make sure, if you haven't done so, make sure you give us a like. We're going to be looking at Alabama and Mississippi State to start with. That's a 7 o'clock game on Saturday. And we've got the total set at 63.5 and the side at 30.5. And Alabama, big favorite for a reason. Obviously, Mississippi State, since that opening win against LSU, Mississippi State has been absolutely garbage. I mean, they just can't get anything right. And I just don't know how much faith you can put in a Mississippi State team to even keep it close within 5 touchdowns, because Alabama has so much depth. Even when they put their second string guys in, they continue to rack it up. And I just think this one is a one-sided game. Mississippi State, give me 35, 36. I still would take Alabama. So definitely Alabama minus the points would be my play. If you haven't done so, make sure you leave a comment. If you have a question on a game for Saturday or even Friday night's college football card, make sure you let us know, and we can get any of those questions answered if you have questions on games. So when we look at this Alabama game, one of the things that's interesting with Mississippi State is, yes, Leach is known for his offense, but his offense has been left at bay, or left in the locker room too many times this season. So I would say you have to maybe look to the under here. I could see Alabama winning 45-6 type game. And I just, obviously that would cover, and obviously that would be on the under. So I would take the under if you're looking at the total as well. So if you want to, make sure you tell us which game you're looking for the weekend. If you have questions on a game, or if you just feel really strongly about a game, let us know, and we'll try to answer all those questions that you do have. All right, so the second game we're looking at, TCU game, and if you watched our rapid fire, we went into detail with this. Me and Allie did yesterday. It's over at Picks and Parlays Facebook and YouTube page. But when you look at this game, it's one of those games that you think Baylor, you kind of think points the years past when Briles was there. But, since then, it's been more about their defense, and they do have a lot of speed. And I do think that when you look at Baylor, they get TCU in a tough spot. TCU's coming off a ugly loss at home to Oklahoma. Now they have to travel on the road at Baylor. I think that's a really, really tough spot. So for me, I definitely would take the Baylor plus the 2.5, and this opened at pick, and you're getting an extra 2.5 here, and the total set at 48. So I like Baylor at 2.5. Let's see here. Frank was in there. I think that this WVU team, I thought heading into last week that they could really be the dark horse to win the league. But since then, if you lose at Texas Tech, I'm not giving you a whole lot of play for this week because I think Kansas State is really good on defense. Really, really good on defense. So let's see if we can bring Allie in here. But so I would like Frank, if you talk about that game, I would definitely be on Kansas State plus the points road underdog. Allie, you hear me?
I do hear you. Do you see me? Yes.
Hold on. I got you
twice. Do you hear me?
Yeah, there you go. I can hear you. I can't see you, but we can at least hear you. So, okay. Allie, we were talking about see, Frank had to ask about the WVU game. We just covered that one. My top 3 parlay, Abraham. I already I have a 2-team parlay up already, and Kansas State is actually one of those 2 teams in it. But what was the other one, Allie, that we covered in that? Of course, off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Was it the college one?
Yes.
I remember the NFL one. Was the Rams and the over in the Bills game. I don't quite remember the college one.
Hold on a second. I'll get my Allie, why don't you
that one you did with Chelsea.
Yeah, why don't you key up the second game and I'll look. Oh, the other game is LSU and Auburn, and I like LSU minus the points. So there would be my first 2 teams. The third team, man, this is I kind of like Ohio State over in the Ohio State-Penn State game. I think there's going to be a lot of points. Ohio State's offense, I think, is super, super talented this year. So those would probably be my top 3 plays. The 2 for sure, and then Ohio State would be my third play. Allie, why don't you queue up? We talked about the TCU game, and we talked about the Alabama game. Why don't you queue up the third game for us?
Well, you guys are just flowing through them without me, aren't you? That's fine. Okay, so I wanted to talk number 24, Oklahoma and Texas Tech. We didn't do that yet, right?
No.
Okay. So yeah, Oklahoma's coming off a 33-14 win at TCU. Texas Tech just beat West Virginia at home, 34-27. West Virginia has been like a good-looking squad, especially at home.
But they won. Texas Tech was at home in that game, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I think what?
Oh, sugar, but West Virginia's at home. Wait, now I'm just all befuddled because I was in and I was out and now. Okay, We're gonna start over for real now. Oklahoma at Texas Tech. So I'm showing Oklahoma's minus 14.5. The total started at 66. Now it's up to 67. I'm seeing it move around. So what's your first thought on this one?
Well, the first thought I thought was Oklahoma, their quarterback, Taggart, right?
Spencer Rattler.
Rattler. I don't know why I want to call him Taggart.
Yeah.
I always want to do that. Rattler he's amazing, but he plays me a lot like Baker early in his career, where sometimes he can be a wild card. And on the road, Texas Tech, where probably going to be a shootout type game, and you're giving me more than 2 touchdowns, I think you got to play Texas Tech getting the points. And I also think the over here. I just think it's way too many points. I mean, if this was at Oklahoma, maybe, but at Texas Tech, I think you have to take the points. It's just one of those difficult spots to go in and just win in absolute blowout fashion. So I would take probably the better play for me is going to be, I would probably say the points, take Texas Tech and the points, but I would have a little on the over as well. Of course, I'm an over guy, though, so I look for over spots. If it's one of those games, I think it's going to be an under game, I usually don't bet the total. If I play a total, I only usually play overs. I know it's a little against what most of our experts do. It's just I hate rooting for unders, so I will just.
Yeah, I do too. It's like totally the opposite of how I feel about watching the sport.
Yeah. Let's see. UB 1124 Fortnite. He talked about Hawaii. Is now a 1-point favorite at William Hill. That's a tough game. Hawaii is always one of those teams that I just can never get right. Hawaii, if I bet against them, they show up. If I bet, I'm on the opposite side of Hawaii. It seems like every time out there. So to me, I think I probably would stay off of that game.
My rule with Hawaii was always play them as a dog and leave them alone as a favorite. Like if you give me some points with Hawaii, then I'm okay. But I'm not minusing any.
Well, it's a tough spot here. Then Hawaii's it flipped. I think Hawaii was the underdog. Now they're the favorite.
Wyoming is a team this year. Crap.
Let's see. Missouri has a chance against Miami at Missouri doesn't play Miami. No, Missouri plays they play Florida. They have a chance, he's saying, at 12.5. I think he meant Florida instead of Miami. I do like Missouri this week. Missouri's better than what people give them credit for. I think Missouri's a live dog this week. They said they want to bet on Michigan. They like the 52 on the over. I would not bet Michigan straight up this week. That scares me because they were so good last week. What do you think about that one, Allie? I think we lost Allie. But if you look at Tulsa Wednesday night, I don't know. That they obviously are going to win. It's the 2 touchdown. What are they? 17 points now, I believe. 17 point favorite. So they're obviously going to win. Are they going to cover? That's obviously the question. I don't know. That's I've got a best play on that one, so we'll just leave it as that. I like that one a lot tonight. Allie, you hear us? So we can't hear Allie. Let's see if we can unmute her and see if that's it. I don't know. We're having trouble with Allie, so I apologize. Elliot says, hi. Allie, where are you? I don't know what's wrong. We tried new software today, so unfortunately it's not working. But you got me. Obviously, if you're going to have the two of us, you would think you'd want the pretty girl and just hear my voice, but that's just, you're not getting that. So Troy Brown, he says he's got Wyoming -1. Should have waited and got Tulsa, taking the Tulsa over 62. Like I said, I got a top play on that one, so I'm not going to mention on that game. But last game I wanted to talk about for the weekend before we sign off. One of the interesting games this weekend, I think, is Indiana Rutgers. Obviously, both teams had big wins last week, and these aren't two teams that win often in Big Ten action. But now you get Indiana as a big favorite, 11-point favorite at Rutgers, total set at 54. This Rutgers team, I think, is better. Yeah, they beat Michigan State, so everybody's like pumping the brakes. Yes, I get it. But they didn't just beat them. They murdered them. And Indiana, this is a really easy spot to overlook Rutgers or just have a letdown and not win by double digits. So I think you have to take the double digits with Rutgers getting 11. This is bet down from 13, so there's a lot of sharp action on this game already. So I like the Rutgers plus 11, and I think the total over. I think the over 54 is a pretty good play. Indiana, remember last week, if you looked at the time of possession, Indiana was on the field. Their defense was on the field a ton. They scored really quickly, and I think that's a problem. You do that week in, week out, that defense is going to be worn out. And on the road this week, I think it's going to be a lot of problems against Rutgers. So I like the over, and I definitely like Rutgers. So, all right. So if you want to leave, I'll give a couple more minutes here. If people want to leave what they like for this weekend, or if you have a question on games, let us know what game you want, and I'll cover it real quick as long as I don't have a best play on it. Let's see. UB Fortnite says Wyoming pretty good against the run since Hawaii is not passing 90%. I think I actually put this on the screen. Noah, see, I got new technology here. 90% of the time this year, Hawaii is changing to a run team. So very tough. Like I said, I just stay away from Hawaii unless I truly have just ridiculous opinions on it, because it seems like I'm wrong more times than not. Let's see if I can get Allie in one more time and see if we can fix our issue. Allie, you in?
I think so. I restarted my computer. I'm sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties.
Yeah. So Colorado State killed me last night. Yeah, a lot of people. It's tough when you're playing these early season games. One team had played, one team had not. Hawaii game. Elliot wants to know Hawaii game. Like I said, I don't have a strong opinion in this game. Let's see. D Below has over 61. Minnesota tonight. I have a best play on this one, so I'm not going to mention that one. But
make sure you go to picksandparlays.net and
Allie,
find it there.
we're hoping that we can get these technology stuff fixed, and we'll still have Allie and Kurt tomorrow on 1 o'clock Eastern.
Total chaos.
1 o'clock Eastern, is that right?
Yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern.
1 o'clock Eastern, we'll have the total chaos. So all your total picks for NFL Week 8, I believe.
Yep. I can't believe it's 8, but yes, it is 8.
Yeah. So make sure you join in on them. Also, like I said, if you have questions on games, if you want to leave them in the comments of any of the other games, here at Picks and Parlays, YouTube and Facebook, we have tons and tons and tons of games, videos up there. So if you have questions, leave comments. Usually I check them and put up stuff as we go, comments throughout the night. So big day tomorrow, though, college football. Week 2 of the Big Ten, week 2 of Mountain West, and of course, all these other conferences are actually almost winding down, believe it or not. That's how far behind those 2 conferences are. Let's just one more comment here. But comments on Clemson, BC. We have 2 people talking about the Clemson, BC. Al, you have any comments about Trevor Lawrence being out?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the difference maker here, isn't it? I mean, that's bad news for the Tigers, but I mean, aren't they one of those like Ohio State schools where they just reload somebody into that spot? Who is their second string guy?
Well, this number has went from 31 and a half down to 24 and a half, depending on where you get it at, without Trevor Lawrence now, obviously. Yes, they reload. I mean, Alabama, Ohio State, them, LSU, probably the schools that have the deepest recruiting classes week in, week out. I just think, though, it's awful dangerous. Let's remember, I think it was the year that Syracuse beat them. It was, I forget who the quarterback was. It was the in-between Lawrence and somebody else. And Syracuse went into Clemson, and Syracuse won outright in a big upset. Backup quarterbacks, even with 4 or 5 days to prepare, not always something, especially when you're not getting tons of reps behind Trevor Lawrence. So that's a tough game. I'm staying away from that one. I was thinking under in that game, actually, but I would probably stay away from that game. And there's just so many games on the board, you don't even need to bet that game. If that was tonight and you only had 3 games, it's something else. Allie, somebody talking about no visual. It's Halloween, Allie. What are we going to? Are we trick or treating tonight?
Tomorrow night. We're not allowed to in Las Vegas, but our housing community is doing like a trunk or treat where everyone pulls their cars up and you open the back of your car and kids, come around. I don't see what the difference is really, I guess. I was ready to potato launch candy at kids in the street. I was ready to start chucking candy, but apparently that's not the proper thing to do in the COVID era. So I'll refrain.
No matter what, our best plays over at Picks and Parlays, check them out. Also, don't forget 1 Eastern time tomorrow, Total Chaos with Allie and Kurt. Hopefully we'll have the technical difficulties. Allie's going to be hosting it tomorrow, so hopefully her being able to host it, we'll be able to see the cameras and all that stuff. So I don't know enough about this, and I'm kind of pitching in here today with Nick being out Friday and Saturday this week. So if you haven't done so, go over to Picks and Parlays, get all of our videos, give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that stuff. We appreciate everybody. If you want to get on my best bets, 15% off all weekend, use the promo code TREAT. And don't forget, Wednesday and Friday next week, we'll be back with our live cap at 6 o'clock Eastern time. So we'll have Nick Parsons back with us next week. So Allie, I apologize for the technical difficulties for Allie because it's probably my fault. Probably not doing something right here, but we'll get it fixed and we'll be back on 1 o'clock. Is that tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow.